Hello, welcome to the channel. 2 weeks ago I decided to put a new clutch in my daughter's Mini Cooper S R53, and when I'd fitted the car all together again, the clutch didn't work. So I've got no clutch pedal, so I've got to go through a whole process again of taking it all apart, which is not a small job on these things, and seeing what the problem is. So stay with me, we'll get the tools and we'll get cracking. Okay, we're just at the point where we're going to undo the front subframe. So we've got 2 bolts here, bolt there, 2 and another one there. And then we've undone the drive shafts. Drive shafts are out. So at that point, also got to change the inner boots, they're split. Yeah, it's got a new bottom engine mount, you can see there. That's a new one I put on a few weeks ago. The first time round, and there's a bolt here as well. It's got to be undone, so I'm going to drop that out. We've got new inner CV boots, another release bearing, hopefully that's what's wrong with it, and also 2 oxygen sensors. So I've got a light on the dash, so that's bringing those up, so we'll get those changed, and that's about it. I'll just keep getting on with it. You can see here I've undone all this, the rad packs at the front. Okay, so we've taken the throttle body off here. Also electric plugs have come off there, the airbox has come out. I've undone the steering fluid reservoir. That's got to get dropped down, that'll come down with some front subframe, and that's about it for now. We'll just keep getting at it, and I've got to undo that engine mount as well. That's got to get undone. Yeah, you've got to take quite a lot off these cars just to get to the bolts on the gearbox. So, okay, just keep cracking on. Okay, this is the subframe out. We'll get all this cleaned up, and then we'll move on to taking out the gearbox. Yeah, so that's the big part done. Gives me more space to move around under here just to get to these bolts around the gearbox casing. Okay, I've taken the gearbox off, cleaned the bell housing, and the clutch looks like it was slightly out of line. As you can see, this is a brand new clutch. There's a little piece sort of missing on the edge there, maybe where it caught, somewhere there along that edge. Oh, there it is. There, look, you can see there, just that little edge. So maybe it's just slightly out of line. That looks all good. I'm going to put a new release bearing on, even though that hasn't done anything. I'm still going to just not take any chances and put a new one on, and then get it back onto the engine, which is not going to be easy. And then I'll just put some spline grease on there, the correct spline grease. I know some people will say change the forks, but I'm going to leave that. That looks all good. And you know, I'm not any trained mechanic. It's just stuff I've learnt over the years through building cars and messing with them. So that's all nice and clean now. Yeah, I'm going to crack on and put all the release bearing in, put the clutch back in, and then the good part is putting the gearbox back on. Okay, I've fitted all the pressure plate and the clutch to the end of the end of the block there. You can see I've just marked up the bolts as I was doing them up, star-shaped pattern, just to make sure that I was getting the right tension on the bolts there. Gearbox is all greased up with spline grease, not too much, just on the end of the spline there and those on the arm there, and the release bearing. So I'll just put the gearbox back up there. Hopefully I can get it in and then we'll be good. And there's the old O2 sensor. I'm going to change that one, and that's the upper one, and the lower one I'll change too.
On the car. It's taken a long time to go back on. It took us what, like 20 minutes and lots of breaks to actually get it back on, but we just heard the clunk, and so Dad's just putting in the bolts now, and then yeah.
Okay, that's the gearbox back in, bolted up to the engine, all ready to go. Rear subframe, all cleaned and degreased, ready to go. And the drive shafts with the inner boots, new boots fitted, ready to go. And it's all going to go back under there, so I'll crack on and try and get that bolted up. So next time on the channel we're doing a little bit more to the Mini, doing the headlights, making these look pretty again, getting the yellow off those, doing that, and also putting the new slave cylinder on the clutch, and then that car, and then we'll give it a bit of a detail as well. So we'll show you some detailing techniques on the Mini, and then once we've done that we've got another little pocket rocket to do, which I'll show you next time. We're going to do a few little things to that, and then hopefully as the channel progresses we can do some bigger and better projects. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers, thanks. What do I sound like when I look at the camera and then I say things to people?
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning.